Hello fellow duels, this is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm going to be showing you an updated deck profile of my Raidraptor deck for November of 2022. So this deck has been changed a little bit, but overall there hasn't really been any support for Raidraptors since Phantom Rage. But all in all, I have been able to make this deck even more consistent than it was before, using some new tech cards that I've actually been able to add. So without any further ado, let's finally go ahead and get straight on into it. So first off, you're going to be starting off with 3 copies of Raidraptor Vanishing Lanius. Vanishing Lanius is one of the most important cards in this deck because if you normal summon or special summon this card, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster from your hand. So that's going to help you get field presence, consistency, and to be able to set up for your plays. This deck is great because it reminds me a lot like Black Wings in terms of the field at the end phase of the turn. You're going to be having Kali Yuga, you're going to be having Borlo Savage Dragon, or you're going to be having Kali Yuga, you're going to be having Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is going to be replaced at Borlo Savage Dragon, and you're also going to be having cards like Gaga Magician, Time Thief, and everything. So it kind of really resembles the end field of the Black Wing deck that I have. Obviously the new Black Wing deck is going to be a lot different, and I am going to be showing a deck profile of that in December. So look out for that because I still am, making sure I get all the stuff. I'm deck testing it, making sure that it is perfect. So then we've got 3 copies of Raidraptor Tribute Lanius. I know some people only run this at 1 or 2. I like running at 3 because it does not slow me down at all. And during your main phase, if this card is a normal special summon this turn, you can send a Raidraptor monster card from your deck to the graveyard. That is the main reason you're going to be using this card. You're going to be sending Mimicry Lanius from your deck to the graveyard to be able to banish it to add a Raidraptor monster from your deck to your hand. And then 3 copies of Strangle Lanius. Keep in mind, this does lock you into dark types, but there's a great way to be able to learn about this card is that if you use all the other Raidraptors first before you use Strangle Lanius, you can kind of get out of that whole locking into dark types or whatever, because if you do that, then you can just bring in Cyber Dragon Infinity and then play this card. So that's usually what I do, because I try to make sure that I use all my resources, play Cyber Dragon Infinity, get him on the field, and then play Strangle Lanius to kind of continue my play. And then we've got 3 copies of Mimicry Lanius, because when this card is in the graveyard, like I said before, you can banish it to add a Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand. So it can be a Raidraptor spell, trap, monster, whatever you want. Then 1 copy of Singing Lanius, because Singing Lanius, if you control a Exceed monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, so you only need 1. And then we've got 3 copies of Heal Eagle. Heal Eagle is a great extender in this deck. It is not a level 4, even though this main deck is consistently on level 4 monsters. That's what you're going to be using it for. But Heal Eagle, how it works is if you just control Raidraptor monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then 3 copies of Pain Lanius. Pain Lanius, it's great because it can copy. You choose, if you have 1 Raidraptor monster on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then from there, you can either choose its attack or defense, whichever is lower, and then you take life points equal to that, but that's fine. It becomes another level 4, and it becomes another extender for the deck. And then that's going to be it for the Raidraptor monsters. Now we're going to be using the tech cards. You got Zephyros the Elite, great card for bounce back for the Raidraptor spell card, Raidraptor's Nest, and then 1 copy of Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. This is going to be a way to get into your rank up spells. And then Raider's Wing, another level 4 extender. And then new Perform Mage Hat Tricker. Hat Tricker is actually a really good extender because even though it is not a dark type, basically if you control 2 monsters on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. This is a level 2 or level 4. Great extender for the deck. This is going to really help you use those Exceed monsters effects and stuff. Use this as a material for Force Tricks, use as a material for Gaga, Time Thief, whatever you would like. And then lastly, we're going to be using the hand trap. So obviously these can be in place of anything you want. You want Ash, you can use Ash. I'm using 3 effect failures just because it gets rid of the monster's effect. It does keep it on the field though. And then 2 copies of Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit because it does destroy the monster when it activates its effect. And then that's going to be it for the monsters. I told you there's a lot of monsters in this deck because this deck has a lot of potential, because you more likely you want to be able to see your monsters more than you want to see your spell and traps and stuff. So we have 1 copy of Raider's Nest. I knocked it down to 1 instead because Raider's Nest, honestly, you only need 1 copy of it because it's very, very easy to search for now with having Tribute Lanius to send Mimicry Lanius to the graveyard, and then being able to add this card from your deck to your hand. So if you control 2 Raidraptor monsters, you can add a Raidraptor monster from your deck to your hand. So very, very useful. And then obviously you're going to be bouncing back the effect of 1 second, sorry. You're going to be bouncing back the effect of Zephyros the Elite to get your to be able to get another body on the field. Okay, and then we have 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is great because most cards in this deck is dark types. If you wanted Pot of Prosperity, that's another option too. I tend to not want Pot of Prosperity in this deck because Pot of Prosperity makes it to where you have to banish 3 or 6, and pretty much everything in this deck you are going to need the extra deck because it really does help. But Allure of Darkness, you draw 2 cards and then banish a dark type monster. Very simple. And then 3 copies of the new card I added in here, Zexal Construction. I cannot believe I did not know about this card. So Zexal Construction, a lot of people before, for the longest time, was always complaining about being able to search for those rank up spells. This is going to help you because this is going to allow you to reveal a monster from your hand, send it back to the deck, and in turn you can add a rank up spell from your deck to your hand. So this is a great way to get Soul Shade Force without having to use the other 2 effects. So you'll be able to potentially get all your combo pieces onto the field. And then we have the 3 rank up. You only need to run 3. You got your Soul Shade, you got your Phantom Knights rank up Magic Launch, you got your Phantom Knights rank up Magic Force. Obviously, I've told you before, Soul Shade Force, you pay half your life. Special summon a rank monster, a rank monster from your graveyard, and then you're going to rank it up 2 levels. So obviously, you're going to go from Force Strix to Cyber Dragon Infinity, and then obviously the Phantom Knights rank up Magic Launch is going to be strictly for Kali Yuga, and then the other ones rank up Magic Force is going to be for your Arsenal Falcon and stuff. And then 1 copy of Call by the Grave because it is a great tech card. Obviously, banish your opponent's 1 card from your opponent's graveyard. And then lastly, just the traps. We want one trap. Obviously, it's just going to be your Phantom Knights of Shade Brigadine. And then that's going to be it for the monsters. Let's move on to, or the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. Okay, so you've got 1 copy of Ultimate Falcon. Obviously, this is one of the boss monsters of the deck. This card cannot be targeted. This card is unaffected by card effects. This card is unaffected by everything. So, easy way to get it out of the field. Use Rusty Bardiche's effect to blow up Arsenal Falcon with a material, and then special summon this from the deck. This card, everybody has a hard time getting over it, but what other people have a really hard time getting over with is DD King Kali Yuga. Obviously, you know what this is. Based off of my Blackwing deck profile, this card is so hard to get off the field because it completely just negates everything that your opponent has. Any card that they play from their hand that they activate, it's going to instantly negate it. This basically, you drop this, and it's going to be a handshake. And then Arsenal Falcon, which will help rank it up into Arsenal Falcon, will help you also special summon a monster from your deck, and that's very, very helpful in my opinion. Raidraptor Revolution Falcon Air Raid, and obviously Raidraptor Revolution Falcon. So this card, if this gets destroyed, you can special summon Raidraptor Revolution Falcon from your deck. And then I still keep the Raiders Knight and the Arc Rebellion because these are great tech cards. This will shut off all monster effects on the field and increase your attack. Does the total combined attack of all monsters on the field, both you and your opponents. And even though this is the only one monster that'll be able to attack, you're going to be attacking them for like 10,000, 12,000, 13,000 damage, which is obviously going to be game. And then you've got God Magician. Say that 5 times fast. God Magician is going to let you special summon a monster from your graveyard, meaning you're going to special summon the Arsenal Falcon, and then you're going to set your rank up Magic Launch. Then you've got 2 copies of Force Strix. You can put this at 3 if you choose. I actually kind of like it at 2 because 2 doesn't really slow me down at all. 2 makes it to where if you link some of this card, you can attach a material to add a level 4 dark monster from your deck to your hand. So obviously you can add Zephyros, can add Painlanius, can add Strangle, can add anything that you need, Wise Strix. And then 1 copy of Time Thief Redoer. This is such a cheap card because Time Thief Redoer will let you keep stealing your opponent's card, and then depending on what card you'd attach for it, you can either draw a card, bounce back a face-up card your opponent controls, or banish this card, which meaning that once you get it back at the end phase of the turn, you can also stake your opponent card from the top of their deck. And then Cyber Dragon Infinity, which will be your Omni Negate. This kind of takes the place of Borlo Savage Dragon. And then for the Link monsters, 1 Rusty Bard each, because you only need 1 in the deck, and 2 Wise Strix, because you are going to be using the combo twice in the turn. Alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. This deck is a lot of fun. Sadly, there has not been any update archetype for this deck, and I don't think that there will be because this deck wasn't super popular. This is kind of like a new age Blackwing deck. But all in all, really consistent, really good, has a lot of really good synergy to it. And that Zexal Construction really does help out the deck a lot because it makes it to where you can get that rank up spell, which everyone's going to be wanting to grab, obviously, the rank up Soul Shade Force. That way you can get your Cyber Dragon Infinity out on the field, and then you can have a field of Cyber Dragon Infinity, Rusty Bard each, Gaga Magician, and then Arsenal Falcon with the rank up magic launch are ready to go. Alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And with that, see you guys next time. Later.